I have tremendous news. I have run 21 miles as of yesterday. I'm going to attempt to run 22 miles this weekend, and I'm only telling you this so that you stop bullying me about running, because I am running. Actually running quite a bit. Then the marathon is the weekend after, and I believe that I will be at least mostly ready. You'll be able to track me on that New York Marathon app, and you'll be watching me running a new world record. I have complete faith. I'm less than halfway up to the pace of the world record, and so I feel like I'm almost there. I think I've done most of the training those guys have done, eating a diet of nothing but like protein and uranium or something. I don't know how they're able to run that fast. That seems like the only logical explanation. But if I was able to run as fast as those guys, I'd probably be able to cover a lot of distance, but not as much distance as the club we're talking about today. That transition was, I'm going to need a moment. I'm a little hot and bothered. That transition was so good. But the Conference League is normally a European competition that is known for its human interest stories. It is also now known for causing significant logistical issues. I have come to learn in the process of making videos, right, that the videos that I have made, videos that I have not yet made, as a new episode of Hidden Grounds on the main YouTube channel is in post-production, which is very exciting. In that new episode of Hidden Grounds, I learned a lot about how things like the Conference League work. And it turns out you have to arrange your own travel, right? They basically let you know where you're going to have to travel, and you have to figure it out, okay? How, if you were in charge of logistics for a club, would you get your club from Astana in Kazakhstan to Shrewsbury in West England? Got any ideas? Any, propeller planes that might be able to fly your team like 9 hours west? Because this is an actual matchup that has been loaded up. It's only a 3-day drive from Astana, Kazakhstan, which, by the way, if you don't realize how far east Astana, Kazakhstan is, by the way, it's above a piece of India. It is above Afghanistan, but like barely. It's in the far east of Afghanistan. It's in the eastern part of Pakistan. This damn thing, Astana, Kazakhstan is basically east of all of Uzbekistan. That is where this club plays. But because a piece of Kazakhstan is west of the Ural Mountains, they are in UEFA. That's how that works. By the way, they were given the opportunity, since they're on both continents, to participate in either. They decided to participate in UEFA. And as a result, Astana has to travel to Shrewsbury to play a European match. And you must be sitting there thinking, I didn't realize Shrewsbury Town had made it into the Conference League, and you're right, they didn't. But a team from the Welsh League did, called the New Saints. And in the most Welsh thing I've ever heard, the New Saints has to play in Shrewsbury, right? This is something that's bothered me about the New Saints for a while, TNS, because they play their home games just east of the Welsh border in Western England instead of actually in Wales, but they are also as far as my Football Manager knowledge goes, the only professional team in the Welsh League, which there is a separate Welsh League, if you did not know, right? Cardiff and Swansea, they were grandfathered into the English League system, but all the other clubs, they play in an independent Welsh League, which is awful. I mean, like relatively, obviously. But the New Saints is getting better, right? And they've made it all the way to the Conference League group stage, and as a result, the 7-time Kazakh champions who made it to the Conference League group stage as well had to undertake this truly ridiculous trip. Now, granted, Astana has a lot of ridiculous road trips when it comes to Europe. If they have to play in Portugal, that's not even on the map that we have here. But at least it's sunny. No offense to Shrewsbury. I'm sure they have a great Weatherspoons there. But if your brain has made its way to the next inevitable question, I have the answer for you. Did any fans travel as a part of this away day? Yes, they did. Here are the Astana fans, again, the 7-time Kazakh League champions who actually finished runners-up last season, but have made it into a European group stage again. They are at the Shrewsbury Town Stadium, which is certified to be able to host European matches, where the New Saints is playing. And here they are in action. Yeah! Got the flags, we got the Kazakhstan flag out, we got a few drums going, we got the atmosphere going, we got the vibes going on what looks like a damp, cold Shrewsbury night, but they've made it all the way from the step to follow their club, and I freaking Love that. I can't even imagine how many different weird airports they had to go through or how many trains, planes, and automobiles they had to take to get from Astana, Kazakhstan to Shrewsbury, but they are there. And they got to watch a particularly spectacular spectacle because they made that whole trip to lose 2-0. Turns out the Welsh League is getting a lot better. And the new Saints actually beat Astana 2-0. That's depressing. And it's sad. And I feel bad for every one of those Kazakh fans. And if I ever run into an Astana fan that happened to be on the road and make that huge trip out to Shrewsbury, I'll give them a nice consoling hug. As long as they weren't creeped out by some random dude giving them a nice consoling hug. Because they need it. Obviously, the new Saints, you got to be happy for them, even though I'm literally never happy. I'm never happy for them. They're an English team playing in the Welsh divisions. They're the only professional team in the entire Welsh league. They bully that entire league, and they are the reason for a lot of my football manager-based trauma, so I can't be happy for them. But it is the first time a team from the Welsh divisions has ever managed to win a European group stage match. And this is not the worst team to beat. I realize you probably don't think about the Kazakh League that much, but Astana is a very regular participant in European group stages, and Champions League qualifying. They have quality players. The last time I watched them, they had 2 national team players from the DR Congo. Like, they have legit high-paid professional players on that team that are probably making a lot more money than the guys in the new Saints. And as such, this is a very disappointing result for them, but one that gives the new Saints an actual legit opportunity here in the Conference League, because if we look at the standings, the new Saints is now in 19th and Astana is now in 21st. Both of these teams could make it to the Conference League knockouts. Astana could make it by virtue of their win over TSC, a team from the Serbian league, which by every measure that you could possibly come up with on the face of the earth is a better league than the one that's going to be coming out of Wales. So they're actually kind of okay. It was a famous night for the new Saints in front of my dudes here, in front of my homies. But the thing that perhaps we've overlooked the most, this was undoubtedly a historic occasion. That map I was showing you, it was a reply to my tweet about this very trip, saying this is surely the first time in history that this journey has ever been made. Astana to Shrewsbury. Genghis Khan himself didn't make it all the way to Shrewsbury. There's nobody I can think of in any historical context ever that would have ever gone from Astana to Shrewsbury. It's possible that there's never been a human being on the planet that has existed in Shrewsbury and then at some other point in history existed in Astana in Kazakhstan. That is the sort of beauty that the Conference League is able to create. And that is the sort of competition that Chelsea is playing in right now. They're in the Conference League. This competition. And instead of clowning Chelsea for that, I think we should celebrate it. Honestly. I love the fact that Chelsea's playing in a competition like this. The teams like the new Saints and Astana are able to get on the field against clubs like that. It provides a broader club opportunity to people all over Europe playing in something like this. It is a massive selling point for these types of clubs to say, hey, if we can get into a European group stage, you'll have an opportunity to play against some of the biggest guys. But it is also the number one reason that people like Cole Palmer were not registered for the group stage of this competition, because if Chelsea or any other, legitimate Champions League contending type club that ends up in here out of Spain or Germany or Italy, not France because they've only ever won one Champions League ever and it was like 40 years ago, but you get the general idea. If they end up in this competition and they don't finish in the top 8 or the top 10 or the top 12, right, then they should basically fold it up and rebuild the entire team, because you might slip up against one of these teams, but if you start dropping points all over the place to teams like this, you got a problem. But that doesn't mean they don't deserve the chance. I'm in 2 minds on that. So what's the point of this video? I've been told that at the end of Zealandisms, I am supposed to provide a recap. The point is that the Conference League is undefeated in its awesomeness. That's the freaking point, duh.